So how can you tell if someone is in fact enlightened? Well, really from the external, you can't. Because there's no type of way an enlightened being should look, should behave, should act. All of those are just projections from someone's mind, projecting what an enlightened master, an enlightened teacher, an enlightened being should be like. That's coming from the mind, projecting. And this happens to many, I shouldn't say many because there's not really that many, but of the few, the enlightened teachers, enlightened beings, it's others that are projecting their beliefs, their concepts, their ideas, their image onto them. The one way that you can tell if someone is in fact enlightened, and even that I'll come back because, well, let's touch on it here. Really, there is no one that becomes enlightened. That's what enlightenment is. It's the blowing out, which is term nirvana. That's what nirvana means, blowing out. It's the blowing out of illusions, the illusion of the separate self, the seeing through the illusion of being a person, the falling away of all the conditions, the conditioned self. It's seeing through all that. So, how can I tell if someone is an enlightened being? Coming back to that question. Externally, you can't tell. But there's something, if you're open enough, and by being open, you're then receptive. But a true enlightened master, you will be able to feel their presence. Someone who is enlightened, they have a presence. They are that presence, actually. It's that they don't have a presence. They are that presence. They have a presence. Another term for it is there's a Buddha field. Buddha meaning awakened one. There's a field of energy around the awakened one that is perceivable. There's a transmission at all times. And if one simply relaxes and opens up to this transmission, they are able to receive it. And this transmission can vary in what it brings about. Empowerment, healing, transformation, peace, love, happiness, freedom, lightness, openness, different flavors, different consequences, you can say, of being in that Buddha field, being able to receive that transmission. Because that transmission really is the teaching. That presence really is the power. It's that transmission that creates the transformation. That energy field that dissolves the mind, dissolves the separate self. That's why, depending on how open you are, there'll feel like there's a melting of the mind, being dissolved, being absorbed, and you may be in that no mind state, which may feel like you're in like a trance, but really it's just no thoughts, no mind. It's like that field of energy just blows your mind. And that is an experience that cannot be denied, that is a direct experience that can actually confirm that the one that you're saying is enlightened is in fact enlightened, because it's the word here. It can't be fooled. It can't be copied. There's nothing else other like it. Can't speak. There's nothing else like it. It can't be replicated by anything else. And depending on how open you are, how relaxed you are right now, and how receptive you are, you may be able to tap into that stillness and silence and peace that's here and now. Let's just give it a shot. Just simply relax. You can close your eyes. I'm just going to sit silent. So hopefully you're able to tune into that. That's very much what it is. It's like a tuning fork, right? One of the forks is vibrating at a higher frequency, and then the other resonates with that frequency, and then it becomes the same frequency. It attunes to it. It's very much a good analogy for what is happening. So there's a increase in your level of consciousness. You become more open the more and more you're surrounded by that transmission, that energy field. It starts opening you, starts increasing your levels of consciousness. It's healing you on a deeper level. It's unblocking blockages in your energetic body, as well as undoing blockages of the mind, which is then preparing for enlightenment. And depending on how closed the consciousness is, how contracted it is, will depend on how receptive you are to that transmission and how much of that transmission is needed to further dissolve the separate self and realize the true self. So that transmission, Buddha field, what else are we calling it here? Other people call it like grace of the guru. It's just about the only way that you can actually verify if that's what you're looking for. Most likely you're looking to verify, coming to a video, how to tell someone is enlightened. You're trying to verify, trying to find out if this teacher is the real deal, if they're real. Is this person fake? Are they faking it? Where it's ironic, because yes, there probably are some fake or inauthentic teachers, but it's funny that it's the fake one that's questioning if the real one is real. Where, don't forget, ask yourself the same thing. Are you being authentic? Are you going to be an authentic student? Because that's what really matters too, just as much. Is the teacher authentic? Yes. Is the student authentic? Yes. Well, then now there can be something to be realized. But as long as there's inauthenticity, it makes it very difficult. So that's something to look for. How to tell if someone is truly enlightened. Try and experience the field. Try and experience the transmission. And just because you can't experience that transmission doesn't necessarily mean that they're not enlightened, because it has everything to do with your level of openness. Enlightenment is already here. It's already now. If there's no experience of that enlightenment, it's because of closure. Because enlightenment is openness, consciousness fully open. So hopefully this was helpful. I'll see you in the next one.